guys. It's a steamy night in the Insurance City, and Hartford Athletic hopes to turn the heat up on Charleston Battery. Hi, everybody, from Trinity Health Stadium with my partner, Mark Donaldson. I'm Joe D'Ambrosio, and Mark, Hartford in a stretch where they haven't scored in 344 minutes.
Yeah, so the last time I was alongside you in the booth was the 1st of June before I went off to Germany to watch Scotland win the Euros. But Hartford's form has been akin to Scotland's form. Not great. No goals in 4 of their last 5 games. That goal you mentioned, they got 2 of them against Pittsburgh. Their only win since May.
It's not that they're not getting chances, Mark. They're just not able to put the ball in the back of the net.
No, they're creating some. They're not creating enough, and they're coming up with some good goalkeeping in opposition or the frame of the goal. Now, the chances you're seeing here are from games that were pretty close, apart from the Loudon one against Tampa here was pretty close. But they just need to put the ball in the back of the net more.
Ones to watch, 2 of the league's more dynamic goal scorers for Charleston.
He's all right, isn't he? Nick Marcanic, 15-3 in 18 appearances this season. If I'm in opposition to him, I'm like, right, stop him early doors, got to tackle him. You can't get near him. And a lot of the time, he sets up Matt Myers, who's got 9 and 17, including a hat-trick against North Carolina. So one of the difficulties today, among many for Hartford, how to stop this pair.
You look at the Eastern Conference table, Charleston knocking on the front door despite a recent 5-game winless streak. While Hartford, well, they've got some work to do if they hope to get to the postseason.
Yeah, 5 points behind North Carolina. It's the top 8 that get into the playoffs. They need to find the form that they had at the start of this season. It's time for a reset for the home team.
Hartford hoping to avenge a 1-0 loss at Patriots Point back in May on a highlight goal by Marcanic. Starting lineups and kickoff for next. We are delighted you are with us here on CBS Galazo.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
At Lux Bond & Green, we have been designing and crafting custom jewelry for decades. It's an art as much as a science, and really there's no room for error. It comes down to 100 little choices made by our own artists and experts who listen to you and create your perfect engagement ring by hand. Quality, value, and selection. Lux Bond & Green Jewelers throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC of Greater Hartford, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly is the leader in airport parking at Bradley International. Save 20% by pre-booking on lastfly.com. Last Fly, a proud supporter of Hartford Athletic. Starting lineups brought to you by Liberty Bank. And for Hartford, oh, we have changes for you.
Indeed, Samaria comes in at left back. Apononu's in at centre back. Asedu is in, and Dieng is in. A lot of changes. He was not happy with what he saw last week at Loudon.
He being Brendan Burke at Charleston. Second verse, same as the first.
If it ain't broke, don't need fixed. And this is a well-oiled machine. Unchanged from last time out when they had a very comfortable win over Birmingham Legion.
Our referee tonight is Elijah Aragwin, his 8th match of the season as the head referee. 82 degrees, winds out of the south at 8. It's a muggy night, 77% humidity. Hartford in the familiar blue and green kits, while Charleston, I don't know, would you call it a little on the gray side? With black trim. And we are underway. We are so glad you are with us here on CBS Galazzo. So, Mark, and by the way, just let me start by saying it's great to have you back.
Thank you.
Appreciate Phil Murphy filling in while you were overseas watching Euro 2024. We'll get to that a little bit later.
No, we won't.
Talk about the brilliant performance
No,
of
we
the
won't.
Scottish team. But
Nope.
how long will it take this Hartford team to assimilate playing together, really for the first time as a unit?
Shouldn't take long. They're back at home. The last 2 games I was at was a win and a draw, and obviously you and Phil called the game against Pittsburgh, a very good 2-0 win. They're happy to be home. They've not been great on the road, but they've now got to show that, albeit a much changed side, that there is a harmonious performance in there, but they've got to play close to Dieng in attack. If they isolate him, they're in trouble, because this is a really good side, Charleston Battery.
It's a side that last year lost in penalty kicks to Phoenix Rising in the USL Championship final. And when we showed you the Eastern Conference table at the start of the broadcast, they're nipping at Lou City's heels.
If they're not there or thereabouts when the medals are given out at the end of the season, I'll be very surprised.
Talented midfield. They've brought in Aaron Malloy, number 6, generally recognized as perhaps the premier midfielder in USL, if not the premier one, then one of the best. There's Joey Akaponu, who made his last start in the game against New Mexico. There's Budati. Beckford trying to work. Gets to the goal line. Time for our Mark's Keys to the Game. They are brought to you by the good folks at Hoffman.
He's the best player in the league, Nick Markanic. Don't give him a chance. Simple for Hartford. And for Charleston, they score first. They're pretty much going away with 3 points. It's been quite some time.
So here's a little difference. Samadia will be taking the corner kick. Normally it's the purview of Jay Chapman. Samadia plays it short to Chapman. Serves it in. Headed out of there. This is terrific back line. You know, so many people talk about the Charleston offense, and with good reason. They're second in the league in goal scoring. They're tied for first in the fewest goals conceded.
Yeah.
They've given up just 13 this season, and if you're scoring at home, that's how many goals as Hartford has scored is 13. Here they come on the counter. They play a long ball and tried to catch Ribeiro off the line, but Henning gets back in time.
Yeah, Adam Malloy there spotting the Brazilian off his line. He's got a decent strike on him, but that would have taken something a bit better than he got. But it just basically says to Ribeiro, hey, we know you come off your line. We're watching, and we'll try things like that. We'll just keep him on his toes.
They're trying to isolate Beckford on that right side against Nathan DeSantos, and Hartford called for its first foul of the match. That's Budati, and the referee will just have a little precautionary talk with Eunice. As you get a look at the infraction, there's our officials. Eligio Araguin is the man in charge, as it was Malloy who got taken down, the Irishman. Played the last 2 years at Memphis. He was with head coach Ben Pierman at Memphis in 22 when he was the runner-up for the league MVP. Both him and number 16 Graham Smith two big additions, along with the youngster up front, M.D. Myers, former star at the State University of New Jersey, a.k.a. Rutgers.
I'm intrigued to see if they're going to keep tabs with one or more than one player on Markanek today, because he does drift infield. Number 13, what a season he's having.
Samadi had the header on it, but Battery keeps it. They send it into the box, headed out of there. Beckford can't get to it. DeSantos comes up and gets it, and Charleston maintains possession. Trinity Health of New England, proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic, always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Here's Hartford on a quick counter. There's Asiadu also back in the starting lineup. Shot is blocked by Graham Smith.
That was good from Hartford because it was quick. It was one-touch play when they had the opportunity. No point taking a touch for the sake of it. Samadi has started it. And a good move from Hartford because it could easily have gone the other way if it had got beyond the Hartford defender.
Trinity Health, we see all of you. Just the start of things at Trinity Health. We expect about 4,500 patrons on hand here tonight to watch the return fixture.
Are we going all Augusta, Georgia with your patrons?
We are.
Very nice.
We are. We hope the people behave like patrons. Samadia all over Markanek. One thing about Nick Markanek, he plays from end line to end line. He is not just a guy. In fact, Ben Pierman, when I had a chance to talk to him in the week, says if he tends the high score, he's a 9 on defense. That's pretty high praise for a guy who leads the league in goals with 15.
You could argue for Ben Pierman that's just as important as the goal scoring, because you can put the ball in the back of the net, but if you're not prepared to track back, then you've got to put the ball in the back of the net more often.
Segbers will creep up from the right, plays it into the box, cleared out by Jordan Scarlett. Scarlett and Budati, two returnees from last week's starting lineup on the back line.
Yeah, and I didn't think he was great last week. Watched that game at Loudon, and I don't think any of the defenders were great. So the two that make weight, I think the other two are slightly fortunate they're still in. But you can't change all four. Have some continuity, and that's been the problem with Hartford, because there's been this element of, oh, it's just like last season again. Well, form-wise, yes. Player-wise, no. They're better than the players they had last season.
Samadia does a nice job to lift-foot it over to Budati. Yunus has room to run up the east touchline. We'll slow it down to Beverly Macangila, who has become a fixture in the starting lineup. Didn't play the Sacramento game after accruing the red card in the Tampa Bay loss. Malloy with the steal. Here's Markanek. Can score from anywhere. Plays to Myers in the box, and Scarlett clears it out of danger. Good help defensively there.
Jay Chapman is complaining to the referee that should have been a foul on Apinonu. It wasn't a foul on Apinonu. And I like what Apinonu was doing there, but he's got to be better with the ball.
Markanek can't dribble around Macangila. Asiadu tries to hit Jang. Here's Ngalina bursting out of the pack.
Brilliant.
Plays it right to Beckford. DeShane tries to load it up. Be a corner for Hartford.
By the way, I'm not sure if we'll get a replay of this, but Mishi's on the deck right now. Mishi and Galina, having played it wide, ended up on the deck, and I'm intrigued to see if we have the wide shot in the middle. We just missed it. It's a tough one. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think he's probably more run into the defender. There's certainly no calls for a penalty, but it is a bit of a concern because he's the top goal scorer.
16th start of the year for the Congo native. It was a busy time the last couple of weeks, Mark, and a lot of people paying attention to Euro 2024. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, steady.
Who is that?
Oh, come on now.
Who is that?
You never told me about this. Let's get this off the screen and get the corner back. Enough of that, whoever he is.
I like the footwear. The kilts I'm not so crazy about.
I've got the pandas on.
Served in. Never gets through and cleared out by the omnipresent Malloy.
You ever worn a kilt? Have you ever worn a kilt?
I'm sorry, my earphones just went out. You see what happened when Mark was watching Scotland.
Oh, Rick, come on now. Let's just.
Now that's Stanwix. I suggested the picture.
Oh, unbelievable.
Stanwix called for piling on.
And you know what's worse? You know who's in the final that's playing Spain?
Your England boys.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, my nephews are all English as well. I'm gonna hide somewhere on Sunday until it's safe to come out. Viva España!
Here's Chapman.
See.
Plays it up ahead. Beckford. Yeah. Dos Santos goes over the top. Malloy controls in the middle. Gives it away. Oh,
that's soft.
Brendan Burke not happy. That's kind of a cheap call on Beverly Macangila.
You know the way I look at this, right? If that happens in the box, is it a penalty? Of course it's not. So if it's not a penalty, why is it a free kick there? That's softer than soft. No, come on, referee.
I tell you what, if he's going to call those, go pack a lunch because we're going to be here for a while.
Well, once you get more than 4 players dismissed from one side, the game's over. That would be, we'd end up with an abandoned game if those are the rules.
Here's Myers for Mark Koenig in the box, but Hartford gets back, and Macangila targets Mamo Jang, who back in the starting lineup for the 3rd time this year.
Judging on the foul that Charleston got a couple of minutes ago, that is grievous bodily harm.
Please join us in thanking founding partner, the Hartford, for educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more.
Really like Leland Archer. Good leader. You would not mess with him. He's strong, but he reads the game really well. Again, soft free kick, but if you're given the one that Hartford gave up, you've got to give that too. If you've set your stall as a referee, just got to be careful if you give those really soft early free kicks.
Archer in his 7th year with Charleston. They try to reverse field and hit Engalina, but Segbers shields him off, and it'll be a goal kick.
I like the area. If you can get Engalina up against Segbers, or even just running into space. We were talking with Brendan Burke about that, utilizing the width, not necessarily playing direct to the player, but playing in an area for the player to run into, especially with Engalina and Beckford's pace.
12th minute, still waiting for our first shot. Here's Archer, such a big defender. Emilio Icaza, and Macangilla says, how do you do?
Well, they didn't do that enough, did they, last week in Loudon? They just
weren't physical enough.
Oh, they weren't physical
enough.
Timid.
Nope. Really, an effort that Brendan Burke didn't see coming because they had played so well against Sacramento.
Exactly.
Samaria starting for Tristan Hodge at the left back. Hodge, one of the players available for selection. Engalina turns on Segbers, plays it for Yang a little too far, and Adam Grinwis with 7 clean sheets on the season. A record of 10-1-4 comes out. He missed 3 games. He suffered a broken nose in their May 15th game against Birmingham and sat out 3. Daniel Kuzemka got the call instead.
Should have phoned Kylian Mbappe's people. They could have made him a mask so he didn't miss any games.
Well, he wore a mask when he came back, but he has shed the mask.
It does. It affects the viewing. It affects your peripheral vision.
Turnover. Here's Engalina. And can't make a play because he's tackled off the ball by Chris Allen, the Englishman. Well traveled. No score. 13th minute. Hartford trying to get back on track after 3 straight losses. Now without a goal for 357 minutes.
I like what I've seen from Hartford in the early stages of this one, though, Joe. I said before kickoff that I want to see both Engalina and Beckford making sure that Momo Jiang is not isolated. I think that's worked. And every time Engalina's had the ball, something has happened so far in this game. So more of the same, I'm sure, that Brendan Burke is hoping for. But a good start.
They give Archer some space, and Jiang presses him. Look at how far up Asiadu is up. That's his goal. They want him to be in Aaron Malloy's shirt as much as possible. Now Archer has room. Patiently plays it back to Malloy. Long ball played for Icaza. He and Samadia collide. Last touched by the former USF Bull, Emilio Ikaza. So far, the two teams still pretty much probing each other out. We've seen Hartford try to use the long ball to free up their men up front. Macangila knocks it away from Markanek, who goes down. Here's Yunus Boudadi with space. Boudadi up the right side. Now Asiadu works the ball back to Apanonu. Somebody with a good head on it. Here's Engalina. Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, early on in the match,
he's up for
looks like he can turn on Segbers anytime he wants.
He's the kind of get your bums off seats player, the way he started. Because we've seen him quiet, we've seen him get frustrated. But if he's in the mood, good luck to the opponent.
Last week had 3 shots, none on target at Loudon. Can't have a game for Hartford where Michi doesn't get a shot on target. Played through Asiadu in the middle. Distributes left to Samadia. Now Engalina. Samadia coming on the left. Instead it goes to Asiadu in the box.
Other way.
Plays it back and gives it away.
That's a natural instinct.
Chapman steals it back. Played in the middle for Beverly Macangila. Nice distribution to Chapman in the middle. Taken off the ball by Juan David Horace. Counter attack. Here's Markanek. Looking for Myers instead. Taken away by Jordan Scarlett. One of the things that Brendan Burke didn't like last week was the back four really struggled. Disconnection with the midfield. That doesn't seem to be a problem in the first 16 minutes tonight.
No, but I'm more impressed by the connection between midfield and attack.
Here's Asiadu on the right side. Cuts it inside, into the box, played in front, cleared away by Malloy. Boudadi couldn't get to it.
Looked like there might have been a bit more contact than the referee thought. No real complaints.
Chapman and Galena in the box. Archer there to play him, displace him from the ball. Kept in by Hartford. Beckford active offensively.
It's a foul.
And Macandela with a push, and that could be the first yellow of the night. We'll wait.
I wouldn't. If you're giving a yellow for that, you're setting such a high bar. A low bar for cards. It's a foul. It's nothing more. It should be a warning.
Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletic. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations to enjoy some of the best pizza Connecticut has to offer.
So you make your own mind up. Look, if you're down in North Carolina, South Carolina area, watching this, maybe a fan of Charleston Battery, you'll think that's a yellow card. Fine. It wasn't given. It depends who you support. But I want to take you back 2 or 3 minutes. Boudadi came forward. Joe was commenting on his run forward. But because he went central, the out ball to the right-hand side wasn't on. So Hartford are going to realise if Boudadi's coming infield, Beckford's got to keep his position wide on the right, so they've got an option. Love Boudadi coming forward, as long as they keep possession, but you can't have everybody in the one area because you're taking away one of your options with no one coming in on the right.
Zhang slows the play down by fouling Archer. They go left to Nathan Dos Santos. Plays it back to Graham Smith. We are scoreless, shotless, approaching the 19th minute. Long ball played towards Markanek. Instead, Samadia with a nice left foot. No, he clipped Myers with it. Play on. Malloy plays it in the middle for Chris Allen. Here's a shot. The save made. First shot of the night. Juan David Torres. And Henan Hibero makes his 45th save of the season in this his 11th match.
Oh, dear.
Giveaway. Middle of the field, Ikaza. Here's Markanek at the 18. Chapman won't let him spin. That shot sailed wide. Lots of space that time for Aaron Malloy.
Now down below us, he's gone from his seat and he's prowling his technical area, Brendan Burke. They are good enough, Charleston, to score themselves. They don't need any help. You give them help like that, you could get punished. You might get away with it at that time, but there's going to come a time you do it too often, you'll be a goal down. Remember the keys to the game? 12 of the last 13 Hartford games, they've conceded the opening goal. and haven't won.
Chapman reverses field. Budati open on the right. Eunice with pace. Plays it towards the goal in the box. It's headed and a goal!
I think it's going to count.
I think it's going to be an own goal.
But I also think there's a big question mark about potential offside, and the replay will show us. You take the goal if you're Hartford, but this will be worth another look. Momo Dieng celebrating. If his effort initially was going on target, he'll get credit for the goal, but Hartford are ahead. The last time they were was against Pittsburgh.
There's Adam Grinwis.
Right, let's have a look at this. Good work on the far side by Budati.
No, that's Yang. That's Jang.
But where's he headed it from? Has he headed it from an offside position? The goalie's behind him, so you only need one more. This will tell us he's offside. That should never count in a million years. That's awful from the far side assistant, Zeno Cho. You have to see that. We don't have VAR in this league. If we did, that goal gets chalked off. The header by Ngalina hits an offside Momo Dieng, but the flag doesn't go up. They're still complaining. Defenders know. They know if the striker's in front of them. That shouldn't have counted. It does. Hartford ahead. But hey, you make your own luck. But for Charleston Battery, they are on the end of a shocker of a decision from the official on the far side. Zeno Cho.
Momo Dieng, his first goal of the season. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuova Pasta for supporting our Goals for Meals programs. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuova Pasta donates meals to help the fight against food insecurity for our community. So Hartford's streak without a goal ends at 364 minutes. Here they come again. Here's Beckford trying to cut to the middle, veers left, looks for a Siadu, and he punches it over the goal. Michi Ngalina gets his second assist of the year. So it's Jang from Ngalina in the 20th minute.
You know what I really liked about that? Budati's delivery.
Yes, started everything out. Got the ball to Ngalina. He got the head on it. Jang was, quote-unquote, in front.
Yeah. If there's two or three things I think that Ngalina needs to improve, because I think there's the basis there of a really, really good player. Heading is not his strong point. He puts that in the back of the net, no one's complaining. But the header went back across goal. Jeng's, I say, in the right place at the right time. He's in a place, which just happened to be offside. But funnily enough, the first thing you do as a commentator or an analyst, you look to the assistant, and he was like, should I, shouldn't I? He wasn't sure, so he kept his flag down. He should have put it up.
Now Charleston chasing a goal. Asiadu loses his footing. Stolen. Ikaza. Now Chris Allen in the middle to Malloy. Chips it on the left in the box. Budati kicks it towards I-91. Eunice Budati. If it was hockey, he would have gotten the secondary assist on the goal.
Look, we've made our point clear, right? It should have been offside. It wasn't. The goal was given. Doesn't matter how you score. If it's from 25 yards, like A.J. Patterson did the last time that Charleston were here to win it after being 3-1 down, or if you're in the right place at the right time, the ball hits your backside and goes in, then so be it. For Momo Dieng, that goal could prove vital going forward.
Jang now down on the pitch, and head athletic trainer Mike Diaz out to take a look at him. Please join us in helping founding partner the Hartford celebrate more than 75 years of educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. Let's get another look at the goal here. Here's Budati.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is the best angle. We had one angle which was clear. I mean, you can tell there he's in front of Leyland Archer, but you need something. You need the high camera, which we saw. I think the second replay we got was the best one. If we're able to get another look at that one, it was pretty clear of the positioning of Momo Dieng. Hopefully he'll be okay. Whether he's just been winded or taking a knock to the side. Nothing to do with the referee, that goal. That's when they have to work as a team. That's when the assistant and him are in close communication. The assistant's got to say, I think he's offside there, and then put his flag up. If he's not sure, you've got to take a better guess than that.
You get a look at Nick Markanek. Had a brace in their most recent win over Birmingham, winning Player of the Week in the league for the third time this season. Had a spectacular goal, the only goal of the win down at Patriots Point back in May. Also earned him Player of the Week. And here he is now. Markanek straight up the middle. Tackled off the ball by Chapman. His coach, Ben Pierman, says Markanek is always in position of danger. Here's Engelina working Segbers. Drops it back to Emmanuel Samadia. Crossfield, Beverly Macangila. 1-0 Hartford on the Momo Jang goal. Jang, one of the 4 new starters in the lineup tonight. Put together by Brendan Berg. Here's a giveaway, Ikaza. It's taken back. Here's Beckford with space in the box. Plays it in front. Jang got a boot on it, and Segbars is there to clear it upfield. Macangila, or rather Scarlett, did a nice job of shielding M.D. Myers and not letting him get to the ball. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Lux, Bond, and Green, jeweler since 1898, celebrating life's special moments.
Oh.
Looks like you had a few special moments in that kilt over in Germany.
I remember some of them.
Wouldn't expect you to remember them all. Ball goes off Jang over the east touchline, so it'll be a throw-in. Shots are 4-2 as they have picked up in the game, but only 1 on target for each team. Here's a counter. Ikaza pushed down by Apinonu. Ikaza kept turning around looking for a foul. Nice job on the far side by Budati to keep it in play. Taken away, though, by Dos Santos to Ikaza. Emilio Ikaza. His shot is blocked. Budati back to knock it away. It'll be a throw-in.
So the excellent Hartford Athletic Twitter account has posted the goal. Take a look for yourself if you want another look. But to me, it seems that Dieng is definitely ahead of Graham Smith, who's the furthest back Charleston Battery defender. Have a look for yourself at HFD Athletic on Twitter or X. Make your own mind up. Doesn't matter now,
right?
Because the goal counts. That's for Charleston to argue, and it's not going to change anything. It's frustrating, but maybe it's just a change of fortune for Hartford that we've seen all of their games this season. We've commentated on their home games, and there've been a lot of times where you just feel they're missing one thing, and it's a bit of good fortune. Maybe it's tonight.
And Ben Perman, the second-year head coach, didn't get off the bench and argue. Certainly Grinwis and Archer and Smith had their hands raised, but assistant number 2, Zeno Cho, did not see it as an offside play. Thus, Hartford scores first, and they haven't lost this year when they've scored first. Of course, it happens so seldom. Just their 9th goal of the year in the first half. Of course, they only have 14 all year. It leaves them 23rd in the league. Only Pittsburgh has scored less. The Riverhounds have all of 11 goals on the season.
But we were talking earlier that I think you use that Loudoun game as a reset. You get back to the way you played at the start of the season. You get results from that. That's the low point. It's time to move on from that game last week, and they've started really well.
Malloy comes way upfield, but the ball carries over the near touchline, so it'll be a throw-in for Hartford.
You were talking about the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It takes me back to covering the PGA at Keo Island, and lucky enough to stay in Charleston for a couple of days before that, and I went to see the River Dogs. They were playing the Charleston River Dogs. Decent setup they have down there.
Beautiful town, great sports facilities.
Stunning.
College of Charleston. 1 and 2 golf courses.
Are there?
Samadi had taken his time looking for somebody to get open, and
assistants decided that something is up, but what?
Illegal throw-in? Yep.
I'm all for that. And that, by the way, that's not much better. The one taken from Segbers.
Cleared out.
That's one thing that should be called more often. It's foul throw. So while Zeno Cho, we don't think, did his job right on the far side, this one by Nick Balser, I think he got it spot on.
Here's Markanek. Knocked over by Samadia. First corner kick of the night for Charleston Battery. It'll be Malloy coming over to do it. Tonight's WTNH youth soccer teams of the match are Plainville United, U11, and U14. So it'll be Malloy, the 27-year-old Irishman, was a great player at Penn State University. Serves it, headed down, cleared out. Good job by Hartford there, run onto by Chris Allen.
This has been a really good first half hour for Hartford.
Now Torres, Juan David, marked by Angelina. Changes fields towards Dos Santos. Serves it in.
It's good from Scarlett.
Knocked down by Scarlett.
Got to be careful there, Joe, that you don't go through the back of the forward. He does enough.
So Charleston win 29 minutes.
Interesting.
Without a corner. What do we got here?
Looks like Renan Ribeiro is having a right go at his teammate, Shane Beckford. Maybe for not closing down, I don't know. But he's not happy, and he came about 16 yards out of his goal line.
Now the referee talking to Engelina, or rather to Macangila and Archer. Archer, an inviting talent, targeted 6'4". Also Graham Smith in there, Malloy to trigger. Good service. Archer's header. Cleared out. Can Asiadu get there? He can't. Plays it upfield. Beckford. Wheels. Run onto by Chapman.
Good
Plays
area.
it up ahead for a speeding Engelina. Michi in a race with Malloy, who hustled back after the corner kick. Plays it through Budati to Beckford. Trying to target Jang at the 6-yard line, and it's cleared over the far touchline. That's a great counter by Hartford on what was set up as a dangerous corner.
It was. I'd also give a lot of credit to Aaron Malloy, because it's not easy to keep up with Michi Angelina, who's one of the fastest in the league.
And he read the play correctly.
He did very well.
Here's Angelina into the box, looking for Jang. Shielded by Segbers, who punts it into the near stands. Hartford throw in. 1-0 Hartford. Mamadou Jang, his first goal for Athletic in the 20-minute mark. Angelina got the assist. The play set up by a nice run up the far side by Yunus Budati. Now Samadia taking his time, looking for a target. Ball for Angelina. Ikaza knocks it away. Apononu back at his familiar right center back spot. That's where Joey is more comfortable. Joe Farrell had held that position down, but that's one of the changes Brendan Burke made for tonight. Here's Angelina. Double teamed. Displaced. And Angelina called for the trip. So it'll be a free kick for Charleston. Don't miss our next home match, Friday, July 26th at 7:30, as we celebrate Grow the Trades Night, presented by Stanley Black & Decker. Plus, the first 500 fans in attendance get a special Danny Barrera jersey. Visit HartfordAthletic.com/tickets to get your tickets today. What is a jersey? You're the fashion expert. You would know. No?
You've just had to go at me for wearing a kilt. You're not calling me a fashion expert.
But that's a sign of fashion for a lad for your country. And it's going to be a Hartford goal kick. Good hustle. Boy, I've been impressed by the back four so far tonight.
I've been impressed by everybody. And I've been impressed by the tactics that Brendan Burke has changed to. He's it's like a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. But when your forwards and your attacking players are playing the way they are, their defence has to drop back deeper. When you've got pace that can run in behind, you can't push up as a defending team. So therefore, they're further away from their midfielders, and their forwards, Charleston Battery. So I think there's a lot of positives so far. Hartford ahead, albeit a dubious goal, but they won't complain.
Shots are 4-3 in favor of Hartford. Hartford called for 5 fouls. Charleston, which does not commit many fouls, has only committed 1 so far.
Yeah, good discipline from Ben Perman's team.
Now what do we have here? Chapman.
Bit of cuddling, bit of dancing together.
Doing the light dance fandango with Emilio Icaza.
Bit of do-si-do and a bit of
Elijah Erguin.
soft shoe shuffling going on.
He had a match this year, the referee, where he gave out 10 yellow cards. And he had another, El Paso and Tampa Bay, where he didn't give out any.
He's busy this weekend, the referee. He's heading up to Gillette to do the Revs against Orlando in MLS as 4th official. Oh, what do we got here? This could be trouble. It's going to be yellow. Jay Chapman.
Chapman gets called.
It's the two that were doing the soft shoe shuffle. It's the two that were involved, and immediately the Charleston bench were up. I wonder if we'll get a replay of this one.
Charleston players looking to come off the bench, and the 4th official, Jonathan Luke, goes out there as the players are gathered up.
So because the ball was in the other half, the assistant on this near side's position was correct. It was on the halfway line. So both him, the 4th official, Jonathan Luke, and Nick Balsa, the assistant on this near side, could not have been in better position to see it. Let's see if we can get something.
Took a swing at him.
Yeah, how much of a swing? Now I'm sure they're discussing the reaction of the bench of Charleston, which I think is merited if you see your player get hit. There will be some treatment here, and some cards will be dished out.
Here comes the referee. We'll get our second yellow of the night.
This is when it's frustrating, Joe, because that is the same punishment as Jay Chapman gets.
Oh, there's your boy from
Greenock
Scotland.
in Scotland. Yeah, if I had
Robbie
to pick,
Crawford.
If I had to pick one player that might have got involved. Good player. Robbie Crawford, he's on the bench today. He gets booked.
Comes in, he's seen limited time this year as you get a look at the Scotsman. 31-year-old in his 5th year with Battery.
So basically, if you go to Glasgow from Edinburgh and keep going as if you're heading for America, you can only go so far because you run out of land. That's Greenock, tail of the bank in Scotland. They breed them tough there. So if there's ever something involved with somebody else, they know how to handle themselves.
Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio, Sir Thomas of Stanwix, our producer. Bobby Kaplan, our director. Things getting a little heated here. Chapman called for a yellow, and then Crawford, not happy, called for a yellow. Gets a little physical with Dos Santos on the goal line. So a game that had not been sleepy by any stretch of the imagination, as you look at Nathan Dos Santos, the Canada native, much like Chapman, has gotten lit into a little bit of a fire here with that altercation.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it. We saw
now
earlier.
We've got more discussion.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. Give me that over a team that doesn't care. Give me a goalkeeper in Renan Ribeiro that's having a go at a teammate for what he feels is not working hard enough or whatever it was for. I'm all for that. I've got no issue at training if you see two players having a set two. They care. You just got to be careful you don't go over the top, but give me passion any day.
Jang with the goal on a rebound of an Angelina shot in the 20th minute. Here's Emilio Icaza. Pair of 8s watched by Chapman. Here's Malloy all over the field. Plays it back to Graham Smith.
Angelina and Beckford have switched, not for the first time.
They're really hounding Aaron Malloy. That was one of the ideas coming in.
Goalie's
Played
ball.
toward Marcanic, and Ribeiro off the line. Samadia did a nice job of not letting Marcanic get to it. Now he's Emmanuel on the run. Plays it for Beckford on the left in front of the Charleston Battery bench.
Run him.
March with Segburst. Tries to get to the end. Plays it into the box. Nobody there to accept it for Hartford.
They've got the beating of, I would say, 90% of the fullbacks in this league, in the USL Championship in Galena and Beckford. If you've got a chance to play it beyond and run, go.
Samadia to throw it in, deep into Charleston territory. As we approach the 40th minute of the first half. Samadia very patient, the Sierra Leone native.
Too patient.
Yeah. Looks like a replay of the Tampa Bay game when they're trying to take time off the clock. Here's Malloy. Something we've only said about 15 times tonight. Played in the middle.
Good from Samadia.
Good job by Samadia hustling back before Ikaza can get to it. Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to the presenting partner of our community ticket program, children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford able to come to the matches free of charge. Foul in midfield as Macangila goes down, and then Ikaza. That's going to be a yellow.
Look at Chapman.
And Chapman,
he's got to be
asked
careful.
the hand.
Hey, he's got them riled. A couple of things there. There was a handball by a Hartford player. Now, the Charleston players thought it should have been their free kick. Hartford said that the handball was caused by a push. And then Ikaza's not. Hey, you've got to get back 10. If you don't get back 10, Chapman's perfectly within his rights to do what he wants. And then that, I'm not convinced that those two. See, there's the handball, but there might have been a little push. I'm not convinced those two will both last the full 90 minutes, the two number 8s.
Fifth yellow on Ikaza this season.
It's a good battle in the middle of the park, though.
Charleston has only accrued 33 yellows this year, tied with North Carolina for the fewest in USL Championship.
That might look like a simple through ball that's gone all the way through to the goalkeeper, but Appanoni's made a mistake there and got away with it. The problem, and what I want to identify here, Samadia's positioning. He's not played left back too often this season. He's got to make sure he's more in line because he was playing everybody onside. He was playing MD Myers and his teammate onside. You've just got to be careful with that.
Middle of the field, Chapman gets ahead on it. Second ball, Macangila, but Torres boots it away to Dos Santos. Budati, who's had a strong first half.
He has. Don't think there's been a failure in a green jersey in this first half, Joe.
Nope. I think we've seen 11 good performances thus far. As we approach the 43rd minute.
It's a bit different in the first half at Loudon, wasn't it?
It's an understatement. They give Samadia space. Plays it in the middle, targets Jang. Nice setup to Asiadu. Plays a through ball. Here's Michi in the box. And he scores! Michi and Galena on the perfect setup by Asiadu. It's 2-0 Hartford.
Time for some brass bonanza.
Hartford looking so connected offensively in the first 43 minutes.
Brendan Burke will be beaming when he watches this back. The perfect through ball. Hopefully we get a chance to see it from a little bit further back when we see another replay of this one. It's a brilliant finish. He's been working on his finishing. He got it under control. I wonder if he would have taken it round the goalie because he's got the pace, but that is a brilliant finish. Nice celebration
1,
as well. It's
2,
the usual
3.
gymnastic celebration, but the through ball is just absolutely outstanding. This is as good as they've been this season in this first half, Hartford. And you know what happened the last time they had a 2-goal lead over Charleston, don't you?
Yeah, it didn't go that well.
No. So they've got to learn from that. It's a totally different team, totally different players, but they were 3-1 up on Charleston last season, and they lost 4-3. They now have a lead to defend, but it's a lead by 2 goals.
Beautiful play by Anderson Asiadu, one of the 4 new starters. Markanek passes off target, cleared into the Hartford bench. Here's Mark Koenig, who has been kept in check.
When we spoke with Brendan Burke this week, he was telling us about how he was going to try and play Asiedu in this number 10 position, or the withdrawn behind, kind of one up, one off with Momo Jiang. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean to be Jiang there, it's playing behind the forward. And that was just a delightful ball. Brendan Burke was talking about how Asiedu was flying in training, and we've just seen the response from the number 12 from Ghana.
Here's Malloy and Torres from about 5 yards inside the near touch line. Sends it towards goal, headed wide.
There's always that split second when the ball hits the side netting, isn't there, from commentator and analyst?
Especially from this angle, yes.
Is
no question.
The first thing you do is, are they celebrating? And a little pause. It's important, given what happened last week when they conceded 2 in the first half in 6 minutes.
By the way, let me just interrupt you. That's Brignall Vineyard stoppage time.
Of course. When you concede 2 in the first half and then you concede 1 straight after, this is a key area, a key point in the game. They've got to get in at 2-0.
At the least. I mean, try to capitalize. Maybe Charleston suffering from a little lack of confidence here, the way Hartford has played thus far. Ben Pierman had talked about Hartford. He said they were talented. He thought they were snake-bitten. And he said their 4 best players can make plays.
Also called that a 50-50 game. Free kick, Hartford.
Foul called on Ikaza.
What I would say, no complaints whatsoever from Charleston about the second goal. There was no issues with offside. It was simply too good a through ball and too good a finish.
Chapman plays it square to Makangila. Now Budati. They're involving him so much more in the offense, and here comes Eunice. Lays it off on the right. Nice move on the perimeter by Engalina. Back to Makangila. Malloy takes him down off the ball. And we're going to get a foul on Markanek.
Quickly taken.
Quick restart by Hartford. Here's Samadia. Plays it on the left for Deshane Beckford. Now back to Makangila. Hartford works the perimeter. Without looking at the stats, I would say Hartford has controlled time of possession in this one so far. Here's Makangila with space. Beverly into the box. It's front. Here's a shot by Chang. And it's an offside. The flag is up on the far side. And sarcastic applause from Adam Grinwis towards Zeno Cho on the far side. Charleston felt the first Hartford goal. Jang was offside. And Grinwis, 26 minutes later, showing his displeasure. Charleston would love to get one in the stoppage time to maybe put a little doubt in Hartford's mind. Athletic losers of 3 in a row. 4-3-1 at Trinity Health this year. Malloy plays it back to Markanek. Square in the middle of the field towards Smith. Now play it up on the left. Dos Santos. Chapman is there to clear it away. Taken down on the far side. Engalina.
They're going to get a really good ovation at halftime, and they thoroughly deserve it. There's the foul. Engalina. This has been as good as I've seen him. This is the Engalina that we hoped that we were getting. This is the Engalina that was named the Young Player of the Year in this league a couple of years ago.
22 with Brendan Burke as his head coach. Into the 5th of 6 minutes at least of stoppage time. I'll tell you who I've been impressed by everybody, obviously, Mark, but I think Yunus Budati so much more involved in the offense tonight.
That's a good point, Joe, simply because he's just made that same run into the centre, but this time Hartford had a player that went out to the right-hand side to cover him, which is where he then went back. So I'm not sure there'll be any issues whatsoever for Brendan Burke to try and address at halftime. Maybe discipline, just to keep keep the head.
You got to tell Chapman, you got to be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to
You're
play
on
10.
a yellow.
Yeah, you saw what happened with Makangila, I think was at the Tampa Bay game.
It was.
They lost 1-0.
On a late PK.
You got to keep 11 on the field.
Long ball by Ribeiro. Archer clears it away. Played back by Chris Allen.
This is a deserved lead from Hartford.
Beckford and Jang collide, but it goes right back to Samadia.
Do you want to guess the possession in the first half?
I'd say 65-35.
No, 49 for Hartford.
Really?
Yep. They've had less of the ball, done more with it.
Yes, much more. And again, that possession stat is...
Yeah, of course. It's quality of possession is always the key one. But Asedu in possession right now is another who's had a good half. There's Chapman getting nudged again, just getting his ankle clipped by Ikaza.
I think what they're trying to do is float his boat.
Yeah, they're trying to get him into the referee's attention once more.
Here's Budati again, coming towards the end of stoppage time. Plays it back to Angelina. Michi will be patient with it. Plays it back. Now Scarlett will gather at midfield and start upwards. Going north-south, Jordan, who we'll hear from at halftime. Plays it for Segburrs. Dangerously slow, and Grinwis had to be Johnny on the spot before Beckford got to it. Now Marcanic, who Hartford has held in check for much of the first half, or the entire first half, really, has not had a dangerous opportunity. Here's Chris Allen. Up the middle to Ikaza. Ikaza for Dos Santos. Chips towards Ribeiro. Easily makes the catch. Falls to the ground.
Getting a card here. Is it for Brendan Burke? I think it is.
We don't keep stats on coaches' yellow cards. I would say Coach Burke might lead the league.
He's in Antoine Openo territory.
Talking to the fourth official, because it had to be the fourth official.
What? Scotland didn't win a game at the Euros? You're kidding.
There's Danny Gaspar, the goalkeeping coach, the veteran.
That's basically the fourth official's heard something and he said to the referee, that merits a yellow card. Brendan Burke disagrees.
Ribeiro kicks it high into the gloaming. And that'll do it.
What a half. As good as it's been for Hartford this season.
Terrific first half for Athletic. And they are cheered as they go to the locker room. Mamo Jang in the 20th minute. Michi Angelina in the 43rd. Dominant first half. 2-0 Athletic over Charleston. You're watching USL on MyTV9, WTNH.com, and CBS Golazo.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Bucks got your back.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back. Hartford Athletic gets the early lead, 20 minutes.
This is a good angle. He's clearly offside. He's in front of Graham Smith. The flag stayed down. Little look there of Zenro Cho, the assistant on the far side. He was unsure. Should have put it up or not? That is a brilliant through ball from Asedu. But just as good as the ball is the run to stay onside. It's the timing of everything by Michi Engelina. He's too quick for the defence. You wonder, is he taking it round the goalie? Doesn't need to. Confidence in his own ability. The chip over Adam Grimwis, and the usual celebration, 2-0.
Let's get a look at the first half stats as you get up close and personal with Anderson Asedu. Here are the first half stats. Hartford 6-4 on shots, 2 on target.
As good as they've been in this first half, but it's only 45 minutes. We saw last season there were 2 goals up against Charleston. They lost the game. There's a lot of work still to be done, but so far so good for Brendan Burke's side. And you were just saying to me before we came back on air, Dan Gaspar also getting a yellow card in addition to Brendan Burke as the teams went off.
Our conversation with Jordan Scarlett up next. 2-0 Hartford over Charleston at the half.
Is it somebody's birthday?
Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes when we walk past. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
The 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses are broken free from the fields.
Distance! Oh, what a goal! How about that?
Torres into the near post, into the middle, and back of the net. Phoenix has an early one.
Fred! El Paso lead on the road!
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
News and notes across the USL. It is a summer of soccer. There are more outlets to get a game than you can shake a stick at. Next week's Hartford Athletic game is on ESPN2. Next 2 home games also on the networks of CBS. Earlier this year, Mark and I had a chance to sit down and visit with the captain, Jordan Scarlett, and talk about his return to action after an injury-plagued 2023.
Growing up, you came to the Bronx, you went to Christopher Columbus High, right in the middle of the boogie down. What was that experience like for a kid from Jamaica?
Honestly, just first thing, from growing up in Jamaica, I had this goal just to be a professional soccer player, and I'm just so happy that my mom did everything right just to get me here.
Yeah.
And she just found she said, what school is good at soccer? The closest to home. Columbus was like one of the ones.
Yeah.
And just going there, a lot of Jamaicans were there, so wasn't too far from home. Being able to mix with so many different cultures that I've never seen in my life before was a shock, but like it's just so much diversity and growth from that experience, and just playing like soccer there, like didn't take too long for me to become like the main character in the soccer team, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I made so many friends from there, and I'm still friends with now.
That's awesome. And then you made the short trip from the Bronx to New Rochelle to go to Iona, where you not only were superb on the field, but you a couple of times MAC all-academic team. How important was the academic part of your growth?
Yeah, 100%. Like my mom, she always tell me work before play. That's it. Since she came to America and I was still in Jamaica, when she called every day, work before play, Jordan, work before play. So I know the soccer part like would take care of itself for me because I work twice as hard as everyone else. But I just wanted to do the academic part for her specifically. Like, here, Mom, like, you want me to get a degree, you want me to get a proper education, but I'm also competitive off the field. So I normally want to beat the best, like the smartest kid in my class. So I think that had to for sure.
I think you're the smartest person at this table, but that doesn't I know I'm a scholar.
We're talking about favorite players with a few of the other guys in your team, and G said David Beckham, just because he was talking about set plays and whatever. Are you one of the guys who just really like flair when you're watching football, or do you focus on a certain centre half, a certain centre defender, and not mold your game on them? I don't think anyone should do that, because you're an individual. Everyone's an individual and unique. You can maybe take a bit from X, Y, and Z. Yeah. So are you looking for flair when you're watching football, or are you paying more attention to the centre-backs and how they play, the good ones?
Like growing up in Jamaica, I started as a striker first, but like I've been playing with the older guys since I was like in grade 4, but they would kick me. So I would move back to midfield, they would still kick me. Mm-hmm. I moved back to defense, now I do the kicking. So, and Jamaicans are a big fan of Italians because they're all defenders. All defensive, So like growing up was Fabio Cannavaro, or like a Lilian Thuram for Juventus. Mm-hmm. But my favorite center back of all time, I just think Sergio Ramos. I just think like his confidence. Like I know he gets a little crazy sometimes, but like he still leads his team. He puts his body on the line. If one of his players go down, he's the first one there. Might get like carried away sometimes, but like it's just his character to perform at the highest level for so long.
Joe and I sometimes speak about this in commentary. There's certain players you love when they're on your team, but you hate them as an opposition player.
Yes.
He's one of those. He's now back at Sevilla.
Yeah.
So he's someone who might be here next season as far as continuing to play. But if he is, it's like, it's him. It's that guy. And he's got that streak, hasn't he? Then he goes, wasn't me. You kind of need that. You've got to be sly when you put those challenges in sometimes. But what a player.
Yeah, you always have those guys when you, like, for sure. Like, even in USL, there's guys that I've played against. I'm just like, I don't fancy you. And then they come on my team like, I see. Okay.
How frustrating was it to be hurt when the season began and not be able to just come out and help your team?
Yeah. So, it's just setbacks after setbacks, but I'm built for it, I think, like, after having a knee surgery, like, going to Louisville, I was hoping to have a good season there. We played 3 games, got 3 wins, and then had to have surgery, so I was just home for most of the time, rehabbing, and, when Brandon gave me the call to Hartford, at first I was just like, Hartford? And then he said, no, this is a new Hartford. So it will take time, but, like, we're here to win, and just coming here, I was so excited, when I was cleared, I was with the guys for a couple of days. Everybody was happy, the vibes were right, and then having a little quad strain really put me back. But I feel like that gave me perspective on like even more, like just to make sure that whenever I'm out there to like give the game, I've always given it my all, but now it's like twice as fired up to make sure like I don't matter like win or lose, like I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to give 100% effort, and I'm going to make sure the guy beside me know that I'm going to give him 100%.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
LDI Connect, a proud partner of Hartford Athletic with over 20 years of experience. LDI Connect is a leading independent provider of office technology solutions. Visit myldi.com for more information. 2-0 Hartford. And, Mark, we have a change for the Battery.
Well, Ikaza's not going to get a second yellow today unless he says something stupid on the bench now. He's been replaced at halftime by Arturo Rodriguez, which makes Jay Chapman's discipline even more important for Hartford in the second half, but he'll not have Ikaza right in his ear.
Arturo Rodriguez, a guy who missed 3 months with an injury, but is rounded back into form. It'll be Charleston ball to start the second half. Battery going towards the north end of Trinity Health Stadium. There's a nice little breeze outside.
Not in here?
No, it's not as muggy. It's not as muggy out there as it is in here. See what they do to try to clear Marcanic a little more space. Rodriguez playing in the middle where Ikaza was. Hartford player is down and hurt. Here's a shot by Torres. Sends it wide, but Charleston on the attack early as the Hartford player is down.
Yeah, Samaria felt he should have had a free kick. I didn't think it was, but was it just me that got a flashback to last week when Loudon scored inside 60 seconds of the second half? When that chance from Juan David Torres didn't even whistle by, trickled by.
See Emmanuel Samaria starting for just the third time tonight.
Yeah, he's had a good game at left back, and I was looking at the second goal again in a bit more detail on the Hartford Athletic Twitter account. And it was Samaria with a right foot ball forward that started off the pass that led to the second goal. A brilliant touch from Momo Jiang into the on-rushing Anderson Asiedu, and it was time to perfection, the pass for Michi Ngalina, who did brilliantly. I don't think they can be as bad as they were in the first half. I think they'll come out and try and get an early goal to make this game back, and it's up to Hartford to make sure they don't do that.
Abanonu clears it over the near side. Dos Santos will throw it in quickly for Charleston. Wearing the white, trimmed in black. Giveaway in the middle to Malloy. Malloy gets it back in front of Chapman. Here's Torres. Plays it back to the captain, Leland Archer. Segber's attacking up the right side, marked by Beckford. Can't get inside of him, so he goes back to Chris Allen. Just the start of things, second half. As Samaria called for the foul on Marcanic. So it'll be Charleston to trigger the play. Hartford goals Momo Jang in the 20th minute might have been offside. And then Michi Ngalina off a brilliant setup by Anderson Asiadu.
Might. Define might.
It was, but it wasn't called by the official.
Correct.
It surely will be Malloy serving this one into the box. Waits for the referee's signal. At the end of the first half, Danny Gaspar, Hartford's goalkeeping coach, got a yellow as Ribeiro goes up and stops a dangerous chance.
Yeah, Leland Archer with the header there. It was a good one. It was a great delivery. He's just too strong, isn't he, for the Hartford defender, Joey Apinonu, who's going to be doing better there.
Leland Archer, a guy who hasn't scored a goal this year.
Bit of a surprise, given the threat he is at a set play. They've started this second half with meaning and with a purpose. They've increased their tempo. Their starting positions are more advanced. They're the ones that are doing to Hartford what Hartford did to them in the first half and forcing them back.
16, the Colorado native Graham Smith. Graham Smith and Aaron Malloy never come out. Here's Torres in the middle, gets space. Plays it on the right. Rodriguez airmails it over the goal.
This is where I'd like to see, and I spoke with Brendan Burke when you and I chatted with him on Thursday. This is when I'd like to see Hartford stretch the game a little bit more because they're getting deeper and deeper. Now, when the three of us were chatting on Thursday with the coach, a ball over the top to get them turned just to get it away from where you are right now because everything's coming back to the Hartford defence. We've only played 4 minutes of the second half, but if it continues like this, it's a case of when, not if, Charleston scores. So maybe a little bit more direct, just to alleviate the pressure.
Smith goes over Jang to get it. Chapman can't clear it away. Rodriguez plays it ahead, but Hartford will get to it first. Dos Santos goes up.
Soft.
We got a foul called on Macangila, who pleads his case to Elijah Erdoguin, who handed out 5 yellows in that first half. Quick restart. Torres plays it. Myers goes right, and Myers appears to be hurt.
Yeah. Now we're going to get another card here.
Ribeiro.
For coming out of his area. He's told to get back. I don't like a lot of what the referees... Oh, he's sent him off, Joe. He's sent him off. Ribeiro's gone.
Oh, my goodness.
Second yellow. He must have said something, and now he's sent him off. This referee...
Henan Ribeiro. Apparently done for the night.
No apparently about it. He is having an early bath. So he's... The first yellow I don't have an issue with. There is no need for Renan Ribeiro to come out of his area to get involved in that. He can protest all he wants, but he's off, and now Greg Monroe is going to take his place. But is this not Tampa Bay all over again, where ill discipline is costing them? We said at the end of the first half, it's about discipline. The football's been good. You cannot. You've just been booked. Just leave. Just go. He's saying, get back in your area. That should be it. Keep your trap shut.
And Ribeiro will be ineligible to play in the match next week against Pittsburgh. So Greg Monroe, who played the final 8 minutes of the Tampa Bay game after Ribeiro came out with a dinged-up shoulder, warming up with Danny Gaspar in front of the Hartford bench. So
this is an example of an... I don't even want to call it over-officious, because it's a case of a referee using the letter of the law more than he's using common sense. But let's play devil's advocate here. Let's realize there are two sides to every story. He has given the referee a decision to make by coming out, totally unnecessarily. Told, you have come out, I'm giving you a yellow card. He continued to chat. Sensible refereeing should be, hey, just calm down. Any more of this, and I'm going to have to give you a yellow. He didn't open his mouth, the referee. He just handed him a yellow. Now the sub is made, and it's Momo Dieng who's going to come off, so they're going to be playing with 10 men and without a recognised striker. that for me is a referee who could easily have... Look, if a referee continues to get it from the player, he has got no choice but to show him a second yellow. But if he hasn't said to him, hey, calm down, any more of this and you're off.
Now, Ribeiro is arguing with our friend Lily, who's in charge of game operations, and Ribeiro's got to leave the bench area.
He's got to go. He cannot be in that area.
And now the fourth official, Jonathan Luke, says, you got to go.
I understand passion, but I also understand that you've got to lead and you have to have discipline. And now, with an opportunity from 22 yards in a very central area, Charleston playing against 10 men can get back into this game and do what they did last season when they were 2 goals down and come away with all 3 points.
Third red card issued in 8 matches by the lead official, Elijah Edegwin. Here's a shot, and it's wide by Malloy. So things get a little unkempt here.
Just before, I know you've got a sponsor read, but before you do that, Brendan Burke's come out and he's here and he's saying calm down, which is understandable. He's now given the instructions, right? What's Anderson Asiedu doing? And I think he's probably going to be playing as a false 9, kind of false, not a false 10, but a false 9. He's just going to drop back a little bit more. Michi and Galina and Deshane Beckford. So it's probably going to be a 4-3-2 for Hartford. Asiedu's dropped back. It will be.
Don't miss the next home match, Friday, July 26th at 7:30, as it is Celebrate Grow, the Trades Night, presented by Stanley Black & Decker, plus the first 500 fans in attendance get a special Danny Barrera jersey. Visit HartfordAthletic.com/tickets to get your tickets today.
It's not been dull, has it?
It's been just the direct opposite of dull. We'll see what Charleston does to press the advantage. Headed off the 18 by Scarlett. Now, it was a year ago, early, that Antoine Opino got a red card, and Hartford had to play a man down. Then they got a goal to go up 3-1, but then Charleston opened up the floodgates.
It was practically the same minute, barring 60 seconds or so.
Yep.
Opino was sent off after 48 for a second yellow. And we said at halftime it was all about discipline. They led by 2-1 at the break. And it was getting a bit chippy, but they had to keep their heads. They didn't. And hopefully lightning from a Hartford perspective doesn't strike twice.
Here's Macangila in the middle, gets away from Malloy. We'll see how Hartford changes its mode of attack. Here's Beckford, watched by Segbers. Deshane Beckford waits for the cavalry to show up and drops the ball back to Samadia, back to Macangila. And Hartford will try to play the possession game, but they give it away. Bad pass that time by Scarlett. Apononu plays it up to Budati.
Don't make it easy for themselves, do they?
Never. Eunice avoids the trip by Malloy. Myers takes him off the ball. Rodriguez dummies to Torres. Here's Juan David Torres. Gets it. Markanek. Rodriguez. Markanek. Back to Rodriguez, just outside the 18. Hartford not giving him a channel to shoot in. Here's Archer. Plays it to Torres. Give and go. Torres gets it back. Macangila marking him. Segbers attacks from the right. Serves it into the box. And Monroe, the former Iona Gale, goes up. It was Monroe who was beaten on the penalty kick in the 86th minute by Tampa Bay in another game that Hartford was playing shorthanded
in that one.
Right. That was a little bit different than tonight. The Fix is Connecticut's premier standalone IV vitamin therapy boutique, offering customized intravenous vitamin infusions and intramuscular vitamin injections that maximize health, performance, and recovery. All services administered by licensed registered nurses. Located in West Hartford Center, visit thefixivtherapy.com to learn more.
Brendan Burke said to us this week he's agreed with the league not to comment on referees. That'll be one of his toughest tasks after this one, not to say anything.
On the foul, Segbers from Archer. Here's Malloy orchestrating from the middle.
Far too deep, Hartford.
Headed away. Asiadu, who's had a terrific work rate tonight, battles and Dos Santos knocks it out. And it looks like they're talking to Jackson Conway, their super sub off the bench.
That was good from Galina just to take away some of the pressure.
Conway's going to be coming in for Chris Allen, so Ben Perman looking to get even more of an attack in there.
Nice.
Conway with 3 goals on the season. Nice job by Chapman, or rather by Budati. And Galina had a step, but the pass had a little too much sauce to it.
Yeah, that's the ball that is on. It's on all the time. The changes now being made. So from a Hartford perspective, I think substitutions are going to be key in this second half, because this is a hot night. It's steamy, it's sticky, it's
well, and they had to use 1 substitute after the ejection.
Not just that, you're playing with 10, so the 9 outfielders are going to have to work even harder. They're going to have to do the job of an additional teammate who's no longer on the field. So they've made 1 change. I think they're going to have to make the most of their bench here to try and keep things fresh. Otherwise, the players will be so tired out that it shouldn't be too difficult for Hartford for Charleston to exploit. And now,
yellow card on Segbers.
This is a referee who does not have proper control over this game.
As Samaria goes flying.
But Joe, think about it, right? The last thing we want to do is criticize the man or the woman in the middle of the park, right? It's a tough gig. Can you remember one of the first fouls that he gave in this game early on?
Soft.
Soft is an understatement.
Soft is a baby's bottom.
You've set the bar, okay?
Right.
And if that's a free kick, it doesn't take much for a yellow. Now, I'm not going to defend Ribeiro, because what he did, he was told, get back. You've come out, you're getting a yellow card. He didn't go back. He kept chirping away. So if the referee wants to do that, the referee can do that. I would like to see a bit more sense. But you've got to... The top referees have control. He hasn't got control of this game.
Samadi up after getting chopped down on the far side.
Chopped.
Header won by Malloy. Hartford maintains possession. Samadia. Right to Graham Smith.
Here's a change I would make. I'd take Jay Chapman off. And the reason I'd take Jay Chapman off is because if Hartford go down to 9, he's on a yellow. It's nothing to do with his performance. I think he's been very good today. But if he has 1 mistimed tackle and the referee, being the referee in the way he's officiating this game, decides it's a second yellow, you cannot play against a team of this quality with 9 men.
Arturo Rodriguez, number 10.
Von Kizil for...
Square to Smith.
For Chapman would be my change.
Torres puts it in. Headed out of danger. Corner kick. 4th of the match for Battery. Should be Malloy, the trigger man, going over there. Nope, it'll be Juan David Torres to serve it. To the right of Greg Monroe, came in when Henan Ribeiro was assessed consecutive yellows. Header by Dos Santos, way over the goal. It'll be a Hartford goal kick.
They need an out ball now. They don't have an out ball with Galina and with Beckford because they're 2 wide players and they're trying to play as a... One's trying to play through the middle.
Sorry, Mark. That was off Hartford.
Yeah.
Dos Santos was holding his head because he thought he should have gotten to it.
They need an out ball as well, and Kyle Edwards might be that option.
So here's Malloy. Kyle Edwards dressed for only the 2nd time this year. Header by Dos Santos, headed back. Here's a shot deflected wide.
Remember, we were talking earlier about luck and good fortune and how Hartford haven't had much of it this season. Keeper's got no chance whatsoever when that ball gets deflected. Could easily have gone into the back of the net. Instead, it's a corner.
Mike Diaz races in after Jordan Scarlett was hit. Flourish is proud to fuel Hartford Athletic with their healthy, delicious food. Let them do the same for you and your team. Order online at flourishhartford.com or visit them at 72 Park Avenue in Hartford.
So if I'm bringing on Kyle Edwards, you've still got to take someone off. It'd probably have to be Deshane Beckford. I think Michi and Galina's been excellent tonight. Who's your fitter of the 2? They're both pretty fit. The two changes I'd be thinking about right now would be Jay Chapman replaced by Thomas von Kiesel. You have a defensive midfielder coming in to replace a good player tonight, but he's on a yellow card. And you then give yourself a focal point in attack with Kyle Edwards if he was to come on for Deshane Beckford or Michi Angelina.
Well, Scarlett got hit in the head, and the problem here is because there's been such a stoppage of play, he's going to have to come out, which will leave Hartford with 8 field players for a minute, or a few seconds at least, which is dangerous with another corner set up for Charleston.
You're right.
Scarlett looked like he got hit in the jaw.
Ben Pearman, the coach of Charleston Batteries, passed on some instructions as to what he wants.
There you see Greg Monroe, just his second appearance of the season. Charleston sends a couple of players over into that far corner.
Well, they know they're outnumbering the opposition here, so don't be surprised.
They push 9 players up.
Plus, they've got the option to play it short.
Hartford 2-0. Malloy, the trigger man. He's got Rodriguez short. Beckford there. Headed over. Hartford dodges a bullet. Here comes Jordan Scarlett back. No harm. 2-0 Hartford still. Well, this has been an interesting return for you, my friend.
Yeah. After sitting through everything that we all sat through last season, the last 2 home games I did were a win and a draw, so it's nice to see Hartford playing the way they did in the first half, but it's a totally different game now. And you saw it right from the first kickoff. They had a shot inside 20 seconds. I think it was Juan David Torres with the effort. It went wide, but they've just totally dominated this second half so far, Charleston.
Archer easily winning the head ball over Asiadu. Here's an attack by Rodriguez, racing Budati. Rodriguez displaced. Nice tackle. Chapman starts the counter. Bad pass. Taken away. Conway. Dangerous. Jackson Conway. Shot is blocked. It's loose and cleared out of there. Budati, who's moved to a more central position now. Long ball played up the field in the direction of Michi Angelina, who scored for Hartford in the 43rd minute. Momo Jang scored in the 20th minute. Here's Angelina again, sent flying. No call. Charleston trying to answer. Malloy square to Dos Santos, but Budati gets there first. Hartford doing a good job of limiting Charleston's touches with the ball.
The other thing you could maybe do, if you trust Jay Chapman, who's on a yellow, is you could bring on Von Kiesel for Asiadu, because Asiadu's position right now is a difficult one because he's not playing behind a striker, but you're asking him to kind of play 2 positions, and that's tough. That's a tough gig for 90 minutes. He does have options, Brendan Burke.
Foul on Charleston. Just a little foot into the Hartford offensive end. They play through for Beckford. Here's Deshane along the ground, easily played by Grinwis, who gets it away quickly. Now Segbers in the middle to an open Arturo Rodriguez. Hartford down a man. Early in the half, Henan Hibero got consecutive yellows for dissent and was invited to leave early. Put into the box in the header by Myers.
Good defending.
Goes way over the goal line, over the cage.
I'm keeping a close eye on the subs that are warming up. Von Kiesel.
Von Kiesel looks like he's going to be the first.
He's down there, Marcus Epps. That makes total sense to me. It's fresh legs. Now, obviously, we don't know the extent of the head knock for Jordan Scarlett. If he's okay, then I'd be bringing on Von Kiesel and playing him as a defensive midfielder if he's not coming on as a centre-back. And Epps I'd be bringing on for Asiadu.
We'll see if great minds think alike. Brendan Burke talking to the 2 players. Hartford clears it upfield, offside on Asiadu.
So, I'll guess 8 and 12 as the numbers being brought up. They're going to make a change as well.
It will be Josh Drack. Probably for Dos Santos. That's the move they normally make. Here's Malloy. Yeah, it will be Dos Santos. Here's Torres. He's had the ball on his boot a lot tonight. Matched up with a Siadu, who's been a ball of activity. Smith plays it for Rodriguez. Tries to set up Marcanic. Shot made Monroe. Rebound cleared out of danger.
Took a sore one there, did Joey Apinonu when he cleared that.
Went to the ground to clear it away after Monroe made the initial stop. 2-0 Hartford into the 68th minute. Here's Rodriguez. Scarlett gets a header on it. Apinonu will knock it over the goal line. It'll be a corner. Westfield Bank, proud to support Connecticut customers, communities, and crowds cheering for Hartford Athletic. Westfield Bank, what better banking's all about. Online at westfieldbank.com.
That doesn't surprise me. Deshane Beckford's run his race. He's going to be replaced by Marcus Epps. And the other one is indeed Jay Chapman, taking no chances.
Marcus Epps had started the previous 7 games, but replaced by Momo Jang in a move that worked out for Hartford.
It was 2 from 3. Beckford, Chapman, and Asadu.
So Vanke Zeal for Beckford, or Vanke Zeal for Chapman. Epps for Beckford. And the Arizona native Josh Drack will come in for Dos Santos, but not yet, because they want Dos Santos' size in for the corner kick. Played in, ball on the ground. Hartford tries to clear it out. It's loose. Marcanic shot is blocked.
Goodness.
Ball is free. Left-footed shot and a goal. 2-1. And that was Dos Santos off the scramble.
Who was about to be replaced. Off he goes.
First goal of the year for Dos Santos off the scramble in front. Monroe was out at the 6-yard box. So we have a game, 2-1. You see Archer in there. Ball was loose. Hartford could not clear it. Scarlett was on the ground. And then finally Dos Santos in the 69th minute. So
it's been coming.
Yeah. Now the question for Hartford, batten down the hatches defensively.
So Dos Santos replaced by Drack. His last involvement was a goal.
Here's Budati. Eunice plays it on the right to Marcus Epps. Epps, who played well coming off the bench after he had been benched earlier, but he gives it away to Malloy. Knocked out, it'll be a throw-in for Battery. Ultimate Frisbee coming to Hartford, 3-time UFA champion, the New York Empire, playing their biggest matchups of the season right here at Trinity Health Stadium. Witness the always exhilarating rivalry game against the DC Breeze on Saturday, July 20th. Grab your tickets now at shopempireultimate.com. Along with Mark Donaldson, fresh back from Germany. I'm Jody Ambrosio, fresh back from the beach. 2-1. Hartford on top. Here's Segbers. Seen the ball a lot on that right side. Malloy.
So let off.
Torres puts it across the box. A shot cleared away. Malloy.
Oh, he's done it twice.
And he again airmails it.
They're saying the first one was over the line, but he's cleared it off the line twice. Amazing from Joey Apinonu. Have another look at this. That's not over the line. And neither's this one. The effort from Aaron Malloy. That's outstanding from Apinonu.
Ball played in. Header over the top. So Joey Apinonu, whose last start was here against New Mexico United in early June, inserted by Brendan Burke into the lineup, is along with Samadia and Asiadu and Jang all performed great. Jang came out when Hibero was sent off with 2 yellows in the space of 10 seconds.
If that.
Now you get the feeling Mark Hartford's hanging on for dear life.
Well, they've got to have an out ball. So they made the change. Totally understandable. Something similar to what I would have made as well with Marcus Epps coming on. Asiadu for me right now, he's running on fumes. I'd be changing him.
Well, Joe Farrell
I can understand
getting
that.
his game jersey on, talking with Brendan Burke.
Whether it's Asiadu or whether they go to 3 at the back, they still need an out ball because it's just one-way traffic right now.
Similar to the game here last year, Segbers drops it back. Boy, Malo's got the ball in his boot an awful lot. Now Torres in the middle. Plays it towards Marcanic. He slips. Stolen away by Hartford. Samadia gets taken down. It'll be a Hartford free kick. So Joe Farrell, who has started 13 out of his 14 appearances this year, will come in for Hartford.
Yeah, there's similar tactics now to what they did against Tampa Bay. Take as long as you can and get away with over any free kicks or throw-ins. Joe Farrell still waits to come on.
As the song said, take the long way home.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it's not Asiadu coming off.
And then we have confirmation it is. So.
Okay. Makes total sense. He's put so much into this game. He's been outstanding, Anderson Asiadu.
Here's Drac. Started 5 times this year, and Apononu, who saved Hartford's bacon twice in that recent flurry by the Battery. Kept in. Asiadu sets up Engalina. Here's Michi in a race. Sends it across. Epps can't get a boot on it.
What a touch. I think it's Leyland Archer has got the most important touch. Otherwise, Marcus Epps has got the opportunity. This touch right there by Leyland Archer just takes it beyond Marcus Epps. What a brilliant bit of defending from the big number 5. And now Hartford can make the change. Indeed, it is Asiadu being replaced by Joe Farrell.
So Farrell will come in immediately and be a part of this goal, of this corner kick. This is just the 3rd corner for Hartford, their first since the 8th minute.
Asiadu was good tonight. That first half he was
played
excellent.
Great.
Yep.
So has Samadia, who will take the corner.
Yeah, but second half, it's like how risky do you want to be when you're driving your car and the red light comes on, saying you need more gas. He's got none left in the tank.
Here's Samadia. It'll be an outswinger. Never gets through. Cleared out. Apononu plays it back to Macangila, and Hartford will reset. Macangila to Engalina. Nice head ball for Epps. Puts it across, and just getting there late is Scarlett. Jordan stays up. Chipped in. Farrell can't get to it. Macangila plays it square to Samadia. Hartford's guys in the back finally get back. There's a foul on the far side.
Now, the way he's refereeing this game.
Sprawling by Archer. Or not Archer, I'm sorry. Segbers.
See, this is the lack of consistency. And I think personally, he's been poor for both sides, the referee.
Let's get a look at it here. Samadia writhing in pain.
I mean, that's a yellow all day long.
It's knee on knee. Once again, head athletic trainer Mike Diaz goes out there. The Performance Lab, an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof. With one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs, the Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling your best. Hopefully, Emmanuel Samadia, who has been one of the bright spots for Hartford tonight, will be able to stay in. Mike Diaz working on that left leg. And
no yellow card, Joe.
Madia's in pain. No, of course not.
You want to have confidence in the officials that are officiating your game as a player. How can you have confidence in these officials when the offside goal, which was given and not called offside, so there's Charleston having a go at the officials, quite rightly so, because it was a poor call. And then you get these decisions, which this is a free kick, but that's not a yellow card. There's zero consistency, and no wonder managers get annoyed. But it's managers that get in trouble for talking about how poor some referees are. Because if we get a good referee here, we are the first to say they've had a good performance. The last thing we said to Brendan Burke on Thursday, hopefully we're not talking about the referee. And what are we doing?
It'll be Budati to trigger. He's got Van Kazil hanging out open about 22 yards away. We'll see what Yunus Budati in his fourth game with Hartford does here. 2-1 Hartford. Jang and Engalina the goals. They do play it back to Van Kazil. He sends it towards the goal. It's knocked down, and Torres will race to keep it in, but can't. Nathan Dos Santos, seconds before he was going to come out, scored off a scramble in front of Greg Monroe.
One's okay to concede. Any more than that, and that will hurt a lot.
Here's Epps trying to turn the corner, trying to get to the box, and he sends it over the goal line. I would think we'd have several minutes of stoppage time when we get to it.
Yeah.
But here's Charleston. Rodriguez distributes to Segbers. Once again, Nick Markanek has not been a factor tonight, and you know that's a ticking time bomb if you're Hartford. League's leading scorer with 15. Fifth fastest in league history to get to 15 in a season. Here's Drack. 1v1 with Budati. Sends it back to Malloy. Plays it along the ground. Van Kazil and Farrell help to clear it out. And then Epps goes sprawling. Epps is going to get a yellow. And Rodriguez is going to be attended to. For Marcus, his second yellow of the season as the head athletic trainer for Charleston, Bobby Weisenberger, comes onto the pitch. Let's see, Epps climbs the top here. Watch it, top of your screen. Rodriguez is there, and Epps climbed his back. And once again, the fourth official, Jonathan Luke, having words with the Hartford bench. Into the 80th minute on a steamy night at Trinity Health. Action's been hot on the pitch as well. Here's Allen to trigger for Charleston. On the ground to Torres with space towards goal. Wasted opportunity.
You know what I thought when he aimed that attempt on goal? AJ Patterson. Similar position.
Yep.
Super strike. One of the ones you score one in every 100. And that got them all 3 points the last time that Charleston were here. They were 3-2 down with 87 minutes on the watch. They're 2-1 down. There's still 10 minutes. Plus what, as you say, is probably going to be a decent chunk of added time still to play.
Holiday Inn Express Newington, conveniently located in the heart of the dining and shopping district of Newington on the Berlin Turnpike, Route 5/15. Whether you need one night or an extended stay, Holiday Inn Express will make your stay convenient and cost-effective.
If I'm Ben Pearman, I'm pleased with how dominant they've been in the second half, but I'd like to see my team create more from all the play that they've got.
Here's Rodriguez, who's been effective since he came in. Segbers attacking from the right. Markanek looking for space. Drops it back to Malloy. Plays it square to Graham Smith. Now Arturo Rodriguez. Into the box to Torres. Double teamed. Apononu takes it right off his foot. Boy, Joey Apononu fitting right in at that right center back spot. So it'll be a Hartford free kick, and Greg Monroe, who is helped by Apononu, took two balls off the line when Charleston was trying to get the equalizer.
Robbie Crawford coming on shortly for Charleston. It's not often a player comes on who's already been booked.
Yeah. Monroe plays it long. Smith over Engalina. Malloy. Budati steals it for Athletic. Long for Michi. On the run, Smith with an angle, and Smith tackles it over the near touchline.
Yeah, good tackle.
It'll be a Hartford throw-in. Robbie Crawford, the 31-year-old from Greenock, Scotland, is a guy who has played 15 games this year, only 182 minutes. He's been a late game guy for Ben Pierman.
Let's get this pronunciation of you correct. Greenock.
Greenock.
Yes.
Throw it into Epps. Marcus quadruple team. Gets it to Van Kazil. Back to Engalina. Just a bit outside by Beverly McIngilla.
If you're not comfortable on your left peg to hit it from there, take a touch. You've got Samaria beside you. Here's Robbie Crawford coming on for Mark Segbergs.
So it's Torres, Conway, Myers, and Markanek. Rodriguez, Crawford, and Malloy. Dos Santos, Smith, and Archer. So they go to 3 in the back. Or not Dos Santos, Drac, Smith, and Archer. As Charleston, playing from behind, tries to get the equalizer. Malloy plays it right to Crawford. Now Rodriguez. Smith is open in the middle. Plays it on the left to Drac. Gets it back on a one-touch. Back to Malloy. On the right to the veteran Crawford. Rodriguez, double team, goes back. Charleston being very patient. Leland Archer gets involved. Here's a run by Crawford. Drops it back to Malloy with space. In the middle, Torres loads up. Shot is blocked and cleared from his derriere by McIngilla. Shot deflected wide. Greg Monroe with a great save on Aaron Malloy to keep Hartford up a goal.
First person I looked at was Dan Gaspar, the goalkeeping coach. Sat back in his chair, applauded that save from Greg Monroe.
Into the 85th minute. 9th corner of the match. And it'll be a Hartford goal kick.
Yeah, you take that all day long. That's frustrating from a Charleston perspective. You've just given Hartford the opportunity to waste a few more seconds in this game.
The trainer comes out to give Malloy some water. I guess he was down on the pitch, so he's going to have to. I think he played the ball off his melon.
One thing that you can't do in any sport is take chances with head knocks.
Right. Exactly. Tonight's Hartford Business Journal Business Alliance partner of the match, Allied Printing. 2-1 Hartford on the goals by Jang and Engalina. Dos Santos, the only tally for Charleston. Samaria steals it away. Here's Emmanuel with a step on Markanek. Drops it back to Epps, and Hartford will take time. McIngilla, marked by Conway. Dribbles around him.
This is good. This is about keep ball. This is about ball retention. This is about not necessarily having to go forward, but making sure you just don't get too deep because they'll now push up.
Monroe in the direction of Engalina, but Smith goes over him, headed back by Hartford. Long ball played up on the left towards Torres.
Apononu
over
again.
his head, and Apononu lets it fly over the far goal line. Shots are 20-8 in favor of Charleston. Shots on target, though, 2-2.
There's an example of what I've just said. All the possession that Charleston have had in this second half and all the dominance that they've had has not transferred to attempts on either Renan Ribeiro or Greg Monroe's goal.
I'm sorry, I misread my screen. Shots on target are 7-2.
Right.
Charleston's second in the league. They average 16 shots a game.
Yeah, they're a good side.
They lead the overall series 8-3. Hartford looking to avenge the 1-0 loss at Point Park. Oh, Engalina almost had a steal and a breakaway.
You see the smile on his face.
Arturo Rodriguez in the middle. Sends it up ahead.
Can't be a handball. It's a free kick, though.
There's a push by Jackson Conway.
So here's the thing about discipline. Joey Apononu, get yourself away from there.
It was Engalina who was sent sprawling by Conway. So,
do not give this referee any option to show another yellow card.
Jackson Conway, who came from the Atlanta United FC Academy, he scored 3 times this season for Marietta, Georgia. Epps with the header. Engalina in pursuit. Archer says no. And Leland Archer will play it upfield. Scarlett there to defend. It'll be a throw-in for Charleston.
Got to keep tabs on Joshua Drack down the left-hand side. He's in acres of space, and they've got an overlap if they want it.
Here's Torres with space. Now Drack overlapping on the left. Cuts towards the 18. Plays it through. Clear it out. Malloy stops it.
They're too deep.
Malloy plays it. Here's Myers. Shot is blocked. Rebound. Sent wide.
They're too deep, Joe. They're basically on the edge of their own 18-yard box. You cannot defend as deep as this. You've got to have an out ball.
Ninth corner. Torres. Knocked down. Cleared out. Engalina.
Right, get out.
Sends it downfield. Grinwis way out of the goal just in case. He's been a man on an island here in the second half. Has not had anything to do.
This is like a power play in hockey.
And extended, it's like a 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. Here's Engalina, plays it back.
This has been for 40 minutes.
Budati. Engalina uses his head.
Hartford want the free kick.
Here's Epps. 1v1 with Archer. Gets pushed aside.
Where's the advantage there?
According to Mr. Araguin, no advantage.
His first visit to Hartford, and I'm not sure Brendan Burke will want to see him back here in a hurry.
Rodriguez plays it off on the right. Malloy service. Headed. And a goal! And we are tied at 2.
History repeating itself again.
In the 90th minute.
As much as it's not good, in my opinion, officiating on this near side, they have gone the entire length of the field to equalise. So that's on Hartford. That's on not stopping the cross. That's on not getting someone in front of the header.
Monroe couldn't get a boot on it. Is that Conway, 36, on the header? I believe it was Jackson Conway, or no, Torres. Juan David Torres in the 90th minute. Ties the game at 2.
8 added minutes. They could win this. They could do what they did last year. 2 goals down and win it.
So Hartford, that's the 12th goal for Charleston in the 75th minute or later, Mark. It's the 11th goal Hartford has given up in the 75th minute or later.
And that happened a lot last season as well, didn't it?
Yep. I was just going to point that out. Great minds think alike.
Fools seldom differ.
So Torres, with his second goal of the year. Early it was Dos Santos. Now they say it was Markanek. So if that's Markanek, that's his 16th of the year. So now Hartford, which has been playing down a man since the 60th minute.
It's 4 games in a row now he's scored against Hartford.
And for Nick Markanek, his 16th goal of the season. Charleston looking to take the lead. Hartford desperately trying to get a result with a point. Here's Malloy, the maestro in the middle. Plays it up ahead. Drack leaves for Rodriguez. Rodriguez 1v1 with Macandela. Gives to Drack. Back to Rodriguez. 8 minutes of Brinkell Vineyard stoppage time. Torres towards goal. Headed out of there. Farrell heads it over the goal line. Let's get another look at that goal here.
I also want to watch the footwork here of Greg Monroe. I don't want to be too critical without seeing it again. But as the ball is delivered in by MD Myers, the little head flick on by Markinek. It's tough to point the finger of blame on a goalkeeper there when the cross should have been stopped. They've got another corner now.
Sent in, headed down.
Free kick, Hartford.
Hartford will get a free kick.
Well, if it stays this way, or if Hartford don't win, whether they lose, draw, or... You've got to say it's on Renan Ribeiro.
Right.
Because if he doesn't come out, he doesn't get yellow carded. He comes out, he's told not to, he gets booked, and he's told to get back and keep quiet. So he keeps going. He's the one that should be apologized. Regardless if you think it's soft or how you think the referees handled it, let's not apportion blame on the officials in red and black for everything, because that's far too easy to do. This is on the goalkeeper.
Especially for a guy who's been around the block once or twice.
There's passion. But it said at halftime, Joe, didn't need to change anything. They just had to ensure they were disciplined.
Budati's pass deflected. Knocked away by Smith. Malloy gives to Archer. Tampa Bay will start the counter. 4th minute of stoppage time. Charleston with 2 goals to deadlock the game at 2. Here's Torres, who's had a terrific second half. Plays to Malloy. Ahead on the right it goes. To Crawford. Back to Malloy. Serves it in. Looking for Conway, and we've got a push in the box on Conway, and it'll be a Hartford free kick. Shots are now 21-8. Hartford does not have a shot on goal here in the second half. And this will be a result that stings.
I'm intrigued to see what approach Brendan Burke takes afterwards. He said he's not going to talk about referees. Obviously, the referees played a key part in this. Does he come out and have a go at his goalkeeper? Does he defend his goalkeeper? You can find out on the Hartford Athletic social media channels. You know what? They could still win this.
Here come Athletic up the far side. Epps trying to cut in on Crawford. Plays it for Engalina. Michi can't get to it.
Unlucky.
Just a bit too far.
Yeah, it's a good run made by Budati as well.
And Michi just got a yellow card for delay.
Yeah, kicking the ball away. That's perfectly entitled to get a yellow card for that. You would expect that. He's just got to be careful he doesn't talk himself into a red card like Ribeiro. But no problem there. That's a yellow card offence all day long.
7th yellow on Hartford tonight, including the 2 at the end of the first half on Brendan Burke and goalkeeping coach Dan Gaspar. Approaching the 6th minute of stoppage time. Macangila called for the foul. Rodriguez looking for the quick restart. Finds Malloy. No. Played on the far side. Epps back to help.
There was no tackle whatsoever.
Rodriguez puts the head on it. Drac will get to it. Sends it towards the cage. Monroe tips it over. Another corner kick.
Still plenty of time left for Charleston as well.
From the far side, the game tied at 2 in stoppage time. In the middle, headed away by Farrell. Grayson get to it, unable to get there. Samadia. Played through to Drac. Now off to Conway. Deflected. Malloy and Samadia go for it. Malloy knocks it over the far touchline.
They will be in no hurry to take this whatsoever, but once again, ill-discipline strikes Hartford Athletic. That's the bottom line. You don't give any referee a decision to make. Any referee has no decision to make. You cannot send a player off. You cannot show a player a caution if the player has done absolutely nothing wrong. But once you start to do things like Ribeiro has done, whether it's harsh or not, you've given the referee a decision to make.
Well,
and then you continue. And that's
after you get the first yellow, you got to get out of there.
Of course you do. It's a head knock? I think so. Yeah, so the first one, he's come far. Again, you could argue a bit of common sense would be get back in your goal and stop being so silly. But the minute you produce that yellow card as an official, it is on the player to behave, to shut up, to get back, and to do as they're told.
And he did not do that.
He did not do that. So it's ill discipline.
Head athletic trainer Mike Diaz
has had more mentions than most tonight.
Yeah, for a head knock. Marcus Epps took one in the Labanza.
The what?
So Diaz will talk to Epps. He'll have to come off for a second.
What's a Labanza?
It's an old guy phrase.
How old?
Yunus Budati coming over for a little refreshment.
He's been good tonight.
He's been very good. But again, that double yellow to Ribeiro early in the second half changed the momentum of the game around.
Totally. They started the second half well. But you expected a reaction from them. But I said earlier, you do not give them any help when they are as good as they are. And Ribeiro did that.
We're approaching the end of stoppage time. Here's Graham Smith right up the middle. Plays it on the left for Torres. Gesturing with his hand. Plays it towards the box. Here's
Good
Monroe.
goalkeeping.
Comes off the line to make the play. Brendan Burke pointing at his wrist.
Yeah, but Brendan, he's got to realize it's a minimum of 8. There was a head knock. There was a stoppage. There could easily be another 30 seconds on top of what we've played.
Monroe punts it out of danger. Archer gets a head on it. Foul on Hartford.
Oh, and then
Macangila.
Samadi has kicked the ball away, and he's not been booked, so there's no consistency there again from the referee. That's a yellow card, but hasn't been given. Now, this is everybody in the box time for Charleston Battery.
Here's Malloy. Only one not in there is Drack. Malloy from just inside of the Hartford defensive half. Looking to send a long ball in. He does. Headed by Farrell. Chased down by Torres. Played square to the right. Malloy again. Sends it in. The header save made by Monroe, and that will do it. A game-saving stop by Greg Monroe to get a point.
Brendan Burke has just lifted his hands above his head, and wasn't the best handshake with Ben Pearman.
No.
Come on, if I'm Brendan Burke here, I'm staying away from the referee. The temptation is easy to go over, but all the referee's going to do is brandish cards. There's not one good thing that can come from a confrontation here. That was a tale of two halves, if ever there was one.
Hartford brilliant in the first 45.
He's going to shake the referee's hand.
Brendan Burke goes and shakes the official's hands. And that will do it.
Doesn't need to say anything. He has to get away from there. He does now. There was no good that could come from going over apart from shaking the hand. A little bit of back chat with this referee could easily have been a second yellow for Brendan Burke. But you know what? Let's not make the referee the centre stage of this one and the storyline, albeit he probably is. It was a brilliant first half from Hartford. It was a moment of madness from Renan Ribeiro. It was a brilliant comeback from Charleston Battery, and it ends in a 2-2 draw.
We'll come back and wrap things up next here on CBS Golazo.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Don't miss our next home match. Hartford against Phoenix, 7:30, July 26th. As we celebrate Grow the Trades Night. Please join us in helping founding partner, the Hartford, celebrate more than 75 years of educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. Oof. Each team gets a point. Take a look at the stats. Obviously, possession's going to be well in Charleston's favor, playing 10v9 for the last 48 minutes or so on the double yellow to Hen and Hibero. And again, Mark, you take the good from the first half and you try to erase what happened after intermission.
You do, and it's as good as I've seen Hartford this season. I thought the coach got his tactics absolutely spot on. His team selection was excellent. There wasn't a failure. It's hard to judge Hartford in the second half, but Charleston, up to a point, you kind of thought a lot of possession without really creating, but in the end, yeah, they deserved a point. But Hartford would have taken a point before the game, but not at half-time. And at least they didn't lose the game like they did last year with a 2-goal lead. Jang and Angelina for Hartford. Dos Santos and Nick Markanek, the game-tying goal in the 90th minute. That'll put a wrap on it for us, for our producer Tom Stanworks, our director Bobby Kaplan, our Power Station crew, and my partner Mark Donaldson. I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. Final score in full time. Hartford Athletic 2, Charleston 2. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody.